This is what you guys usually see. And this is what I see on a daily basis, of course, here, as yeah, this is kind of my entire sim rig slash YouTube setup that I work with. Right now, I'm actually recording this while I edit and upload or export my current Heat 5 career mode video at Auto Club, which should be out well before this video. But this will be going out during my Florida trip. So I'm in my old book room. None of these books are my books. They're all actually my mom's. But yeah, it used to be a huge book room, turned it into my creation room. So anything like to the left here is none of my stuff, but everything else you see in terms of the racing and computer stuff is all mine. So I'll start with the hardware that I'm working with PC and whatnot to kick things off. So I'm on the NZXT, it was called the Creator PC, and unfortunately with the way my setup is, I mean, all the good looking stuff is kind of hidden over here. A beautiful reflection of some books that you can see, but yeah, all the good looking stuff, just with the way the setup works, is kind of hidden away from me. But you got, of course, the fan lights here in front, and of course my Samsung SSD. I travel a lot lately, so I need to utilize this quite often for editing videos on my laptop. I'm not going to show the laptop, but I just got one of those recently. But in terms of specs, I'm not the most in tune with being a big PC guy, knowing everything, so you can kind of just see my specs right here. We got an Intel Core i9. We got an RTX 4090 with the graphics card there, and I mean, you can see all the other good stuff there. You can pause the video if you would like. So it does what I needed. It was a bit overkill for what I do, simply because what I do is really iRacing, NASCAR Heat 5, F124, F123 specifically. We got the 3 monitors set up in a very different way from a traditional 3 monitor setup. I don't use them in like games as 3 monitors, of course. So this is my main monitor here. It's an Acer. Very simply, this is where I do all the editing, and then occasional gaming if I'm not making videos and whatnot, so later in the night usually. And then the second monitor up here, as you can see, a camera that I never really utilize, but that monitor is very simply for when I'm recording videos. I will put my Streamlabs so I can monitor recording up there, and as well when I'm streaming I can monitor the stream up there, and as well sometimes look at the chat. And speaking of that, I do have this Stream Deck here that I don't utilize as much as I need to for how much I've spent on this thing, but usually for reading the chat, because I'm always looking over there, and it's hard to look up over here. So what I do is I usually literally just put my phone right here, and I will have the YouTube chat up right there. And that's why if you watch my streams, you'll always notice I'm kind of glancing down over here. But third monitor, this one is the 1440p. The other ones are 1080p. Obviously on the recording monitor, streaming monitor, higher quality. I don't remember the exact size of it, but it is a curved monitor. There's my webcam, Logitech StreamCam. It not incredible, but not bad. It's decent for the price, and it does what you need it to do. It's a USB-C. If you have a USB-C port, which of course all PCs pretty well have nowadays. And looking at this monitor back here, you see this big wooden thing. That was my dad custom made that platform. You can kind of see and judge my wiring. It's not incredible. It's a hazard certainly waiting to happen, but it works. It does the job. Before we hop on the sim rig itself, as well, microphone that you're not really hearing much of today. Blue Yeti mic. This is my second one. My first one broke after a few years, so we're on Blue Yeti mic 2. We got the Streamlight Elgato. Yeah, that works well. Would love to have another one over here at some point to kind of get proper balanced lighting on my face, but currently not the situation we have ourselves in. We got the Razer mouse. I can't really tell you specifics on what it's called, and same for a Razer keyboard. Very straightforward. I just got recently a new light for behind me on videos and streams. As you can see, my backpack, Lightning McQueen slippers. You never know when you're gonna have to pull these out. And then my bag here below, that's just for traveling soon to Florida for the Daytona 24 hours. But there's the light there. Does everything you need it, and ignore that. That's Jay. Beautiful face right there. But yeah, really cool backdrop this light has. Got it for on clearance for like $40. Does everything you need it to. It's just a nice backdrop to have in the streams. I was a bit concerned it would kind of not look that great, but it's actually doing okay. So now we go to my favorite part of this video that I've been looking forward to, and that's the actual sim setup here. So part of this is custom built from my dad again. He's big into woodworking, and he has taken steps to make it very convenient for myself. So of course we got the Sigma sim racing chair. My dad, again, he found this on Facebook Marketplace, and we picked this up. I think we got it for about $150, if I remember correctly, in Canadian. That is great seat. It holds me. I mean, there's not much else to say about it. It is comfortable, but you'll notice this base down here. We didn't get like a proper sim racing, like a Next Level Racing or a different company that does actual bases for your seats. My dad custom built this, which was out of wood, and then it's got this nice soft coating around the sides, and yeah, it goes all the way around, and it's fantastic. And that's when it gets interesting here. You see these I know what these are called, but I'm forgetting them. I'm blanking for a second. But these basically hook into these two holes that we custom drilled into the frame of the this is the Next Level Racing very simple base just to hold your wheel and pedals. These hook in and basically allow me to make sure nothing's really moving around, because you kind of want to be as stable as possible in a direct drive wheel. And that's what I'll showcase now is the actual wheel itself. So I'm on all Moza equipment. I used Thrustmaster for many years, and Thrustmaster, absolutely fantastic. I still use Thrustmaster pedals, but I did switch to Moza. Turn it on here. It's the, of course, open wheel F1 style wheel that we got going. It's the called the Moza FSR wheel. And the base that you see just behind it here is the R12 base. I think we got 12 Newton meters of torque out of there. And yeah, the wheel, a very fun wheel. Of course, mainly, I do have an F1 YouTube channel, but mainly, of course, I'm a NASCAR creator, and I get questions a lot about, well, why do you race on an open wheel and not a true, more stock car style round rim? Isn't it a disadvantage? And there's two answers I have. First of all, I was too cheap to buy two wheels, and I thought this one looked cooler, so that's why I went with this one. At some point, I'll definitely buy a round wheel. And then the disadvantage part, absolutely not a disadvantage in any form whatsoever. I know some mention that it might be more difficult to save a car when you're holding the wheel like you have to on here versus a round rim. But if you're having to let go of the wheel and turn it all over the place to save a car in like iRacing in a NASCAR car, you're already wrecking anyways. It's not going to matter what wheel you're on. But yeah, fabulous wheel. Haven't had too many issues. The only issue I've had was recently after a firmware update. I just had to recalibrate the paddles here, the paddle for the shifting. That was the only thing I had to redo, is just recalibrate them, because it was picking up that even when it wasn't engaged on the upshift, that it was actually pressing in. So I couldn't actually upshift because it thought I was already pressing the paddle. Outside of that, it's been fantastic. I've had it I would say close to a year now, I think, or maybe a little bit longer. I can't remember exactly. This is one of the more recent ones. I've had this for a little while now. This is the Moza Sequential shifter, if it'll focus properly, which I don't think it will, but love this shifter. Sequential, so not age pattern, of course. Got this little switch here on the end. Lever, I guess we could call it. Not really ever certain what the true use for that is, but you can, if you're playing like rally or something or anything, you can map this as like a handbrake, which is kind of cool. But yeah, of course, upshift, downshift. Utilize this specifically in iRacing and in the NASCAR car, NASCAR Heat 5 as well, and any other car that uses sequential. So I'll use this in like a supercar or something. And then you got the two buttons down here, so you can map these to be whatever you want. In iRacing, I have this S2 button here. It says S2 if it'll focus. There you go. That is my wipers, and then you can have like that as a light. And then we come down to the pedals, which are a bit dirty. My pedals always get so dirty, and I have to keep them clean quite often. I usually clean every 2 weeks or so. I just kind of do like a thorough cleaning of the setup, but I'm kind of tight on time, so I didn't bother to clean it too much before this video. But Thrustmaster pedals, the exact name, I just got these very recently and I can't remember the name. I'm actually going to look that up right now. Okay, they're the TLCM Thrustmaster pedals, not load cell, so they're pretty generic pedals. They got really good springs on them. So I had the T3 PA pedals, I think they were called previously, and they lasted for many years. They were a fantastic set of pedals, and they broke just over the summer in 2024, so that forced me into a new set. And I thought about getting Moza load cell, but they're so expensive. That's the one downside I would say about Moza. Is their pricing is very expensive. But yeah, pedals work great. Brake pedal really stiff. Had to actually work on strengthening my foot to be able to actually utilize that. And then of course you got your clutch pedal here. But I mean, look at the spring we got going on here on the brake pedal. Great set of pedals. This is a softer spring actually, so there is a more stiff one that you can put in, and it was default with the pedal set, and it was so difficult for me at the beginning to push down. So I swapped it out with a softer adjustment, which was just taking out this actual piece right here. That's all you're doing is taking this out, and that softens it up, but it's still a lot stronger than I was anticipating when I got the set of pedals. But that's pretty well it. My setup, it's not the most complicated. Going forward, looking at future kind of things I want to save for and add to this setup is pretty straightforward. I don't really want to make any changes with the shifter or anything, but I definitely want a round rim. Don't really need anything else. I think you got an open wheel rim, you got a round rim, you've pretty well gotten what you need. Pedals, I do want to go to load cell at some point in the future, but it's not something I'm, actively wanting and saying, okay, I need that right now. So outside of that, very happy with what I have, and you kind of get a better look here. That's what we're rolling with. So yeah, if you ever wondered, I know I've gotten questions about it before, about my sim setup, my YouTube setup, as we're finishing up just in time for this Auto Club video to be done exporting, and I'll upload it to members who get 1 day early access, usually about that, to the career mode videos. But yeah, that's my setup. If you guys have any more comments or questions, put it in the comments. I'll try to answer them. But yeah, that's it for me. I did maybe not touch on the headphones. EPOS headphones. These are great. They cost me a few $100s Canadian, but I am a big nerd for sound quality, so I really like these ones, though. Absolutely fantastic. Outside of that, that's it for me. If you guys have any questions, like I said, leave them down below in the comments. I'll try to answer whatever I can. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching. Have yourselves a great day.